In a quiet neighborhood, where houses paint a landscape of normality and contentment, the life of a man was about to be shaken to its foundations. Known by many as a dedicated husband and loving father, he navigated the calm waters of a marriage he believed to be immune to the storms of betrayal and heartache. With a routine filled with shared moments and an unwavering trust in the solidity of his relationship, he lived oblivious to the shadows quietly creeping into his home. But on a rainy autumn night, this idyllic perception would be shattered, initiating a journey of discovery, pain, and eventual redemption. This story is not just about uncovering a devastating betrayal, but also about the complexity of human reactions in the face of the unimaginable. As the true nature of his wife and his world crumbled before his eyes, he found himself at a crossroads between revenge and seeking a new beginning. Armed with digital evidence and faced with choices that would shape his future and that of his family, he embarks on an intricate plot of personal justice and the struggle to redefine the meaning of home and family. Over a decade of marriage, I lived in what I believe to be a perfect union. 10 years of complicity, shared laughter, and 2 children who were the personification of our love, transforming our modest residence into a haven of happiness and security. Our home was more than just 4 walls. It was a sanctuary of love, filled with happy memories and precious moments. However, on an unforgettable autumn night, where the rain incessantly beat against the windows, creating a melancholic melody, I discovered that my perception of our marriage was terribly mistaken. That afternoon, I decided to leave work early, driven by the desire to surprise my wife and our children with a family game night, thinking of breaking the routine and further strengthening our bonds. However, as I approached our home, the anticipation of hearing joyful shouts and the characteristic noise of our family chaos was replaced by an unusual silence. The front door opened noiselessly, revealing a scene that left me perplexed. Toys scattered all over the living room floor, as if a play had been abruptly interrupted, but without any signs of my children's laughter and vibrant energy. Moved by a strange sensation, I decided to keep the lights off, preserving the element of surprise I had planned. With light steps, I advanced through the house, guided by the faint glow escaping from beneath our bedroom door. It was then that muffled sounds of conversations and laughter reached my ears, triggering a wave of adrenaline through my body. My heart, previously calm and expectant, now beat uncontrollably in a frenetic rhythm that echoed the emotional turmoil beginning to take shape within me. The anticipation of a happy family reunion was quickly replaced by paralyzing fear as I approached the source of those sounds, completely unaware of the devastating blow I was about to discover. When the door opened, the shock of what was revealed before me made the cold night air seem to freeze my veins. There, in the sanctuary of our intimacy, my wife was entwined in the arms of another man. They were intertwined in a way that made clear how deep their involvement was, so lost in each other that my unexpected arrival went completely unnoticed. The sight of them together in such an intimate moment of betrayal paralyzed me. I was there, physically present, but felt distant, as if observing the scene through a veil of incredulity and shock. For a fleeting moment, the urge to confront them with all my suffering and betrayal took hold of me. I wanted to scream, to expose the searing pain tearing me apart inside, to confront them with the stark truth of their actions. However, a deeper part of me rejected this idea. I would not give them the spectacle of my pain, would not allow them to witness the moment my heart broke. With a discipline I did not know I possessed, I silently receded, closing the door with the gentleness of someone not wanting to disturb a deep sleep. Irony of ironies, they thought I was lost in the arms of Morpheus, oblivious to the world. The night dragged on, a long vigil marked by a storm of emotions that assailed me. Sitting in the darkness of the living room, I watched the hours pass, each tick-tock of the clock a reminder of the pain, anger, disbelief, and sadness battling within me. As the first lights of dawn began to stain the sky a pale grey, a decision crystallized in my mind. I would seek my revenge, not as an impulsive act of anger, but as a way to close this painful chapter of my life. In the days that followed, I maintained a facade of normality, acting as the main character in a play I did not wish to star in. I observed my wife and the man I now knew to be more than just a simple co-worker of hers. He was someone who had crossed the threshold of our home as a friend, dined at our table, and laughed at our jokes. Every interaction between them, now seen under a new light, was a bitter reminder of the betrayal. The irony of his presence in our family life, once welcomed with open arms, now revealed itself as a bitter taste of disloyalty and disappointment. My response to the betrayal that shattered what I considered an unbreakable marriage was to orchestrate a revenge as meticulous as it was silent. Armed with a deep knowledge of technology, I plunged into the digital depths to gather irrefutable evidence of my wife's infidelity. Night after night, as the house slept, I compiled messages, emails, and records that painted an undeniable picture of betrayal. However, my thirst for justice was not quenched by the bare truth alone. I yearned for something more, something that would transcend the mere exposure of adultery. During my nocturnal incursions, I discovered that the man who had invaded my home hid a dark past and present, filled with hidden debts and a web of illicit activities. These discoveries were like keys, granting me even greater power. The power not only to reveal their betrayal to the world, but also to completely dismantle the life of the man who thought he could usurp my happiness without consequences. The stage for the grand revelation was meticulously set at a party I organized, an occasion that gathered close friends and family under the pretext of a celebration. The atmosphere was charged with joy and laughter, a bitter irony given the drama that would unfold. And at the height of the night, with all eyes on me, I unveiled not just the illicit romance, but also the dark truths about my wife's lover. The surprise, shock, and horror on everyone's faces were more eloquent than any words I could speak. In the face of my revelation, my wife crumbled, begging for forgiveness and understanding. However, I knew with cutting clarity that the cracks in our marriage were too deep to be repaired. Revenge had granted me a glimpse of justice, but the peace of mind I sought still eluded me, slipping away like a shadow at noon. It was only months later, amid the settled dust of our shattered life, that an unexpected plot twist presented itself. My wife, with tearful eyes and a trembling voice, revealed she was pregnant. The child was undoubtedly mine, the fruit of a love I once thought eternal, conceived before the storm of betrayal. In that moment, I decided that despite all the scars and painful past, I would be a beacon of presence and love for this new life. My true revenge would not manifest through destruction, but in building a future where the man who tried to destroy my family would have no role. I would dedicate my existence to ensuring our child would grow in an environment of honesty, true love, and above all, with the certainty that even in the worst adversities, we can find the strength to start anew. As the veil of night unraveled, giving way to the first rays of a new dawn, so too was the conclusion of a journey filled with emotional twists and surprising discoveries revealed. Our protagonist, once the victim of a devastating betrayal, emerged from the ashes of a painful past, armed with the strength of resilience and the light of hope. The birth of his child, a pure symbol of a new beginning, marked the start of an era of personal rebirth and redefinition of what it means to be a family. The unfolding story is not just a narrative about pain and betrayal, but also a lesson on the human capacity to forgive, grow, and find beauty in reconstruction. Our protagonist taught us that even in the depths of disillusionment, it is possible to rise, choose to act with integrity and love, and pave a way towards a brighter future full of possibilities. As we close the pages of this thrilling story, we extend our deepest thanks to you, our loyal listeners, for embarking with us on this journey. Your presence, support, and empathy are what make these narratives so powerful and meaningful. If this story has touched you, if it has sparked reflections or emotions, we invite you to share your thoughts in the comments. Your interaction enriches our community, bringing to light diverse perspectives and life experiences. Don't forget to like this episode to help us reach more people who, like you, appreciate stories that inspire and provoke thought. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, we invite you to join our growing family of listeners. By subscribing, you not only support us but also ensure you won't miss any of our future tales, stories, and adventures that have the power to entertain, move, and inspire. Once again, our sincerest thanks for being here. Until